He's Brazilian, he only costs 40 million. Man United match review. Welcome back to another video on the channel, Newcastle fans. Apologies for the croaky voice before I get started. I have been a victim of the dreaded COVID-19, which is why I wasn't at the game tonight. But all of my fans and subscribers who might be worried about me, I'm okay. Bit of a croaky voice, about as much energy as, well, Ronaldo tonight, but I'm recovering. What a performance. What a fucking performance. And I'm sure I'm not the only Newcastle fan tonight who is disappointed with that we haven't come out with it with the result. Well, the 3 points, should I say. A point is a point, but wow. I don't think I've done one video for best part of a year where I have come out and said that every single player played fantastic. But that is what I'm going to say tonight. There is not one single player on that field tonight who I could honestly say played bad, did anything wrong. I felt like everything we did tonight worked. And how those players have come off the pitch without a result, it saddens me for them. Aside from me being a fan of Newcastle myself, it saddens me that they haven't been able to walk off arm in arm, 3 points better off. I just thought we were up for it. I thought Eddie Howe got it perfectly right. Don't get me wrong, Man United were bad tonight. That is probably the worst Man United team I've seen play at St James's Park since I can remember. Obviously going back a lot of years when Man United were great, that was fucking shocking from them. They were giving the ball away. Their formation was totally wrong. But again, I'm not gonna make the focus of this video on the praise about how bad they were, because we were fantastic. And I think everything that Eddie Howe's been trying to do for us since he's come in, it worked tonight. The high press, everybody was on board with the high press. I thought Ryan Fraser was absolutely fantastic. He would be a close second for my man of the match before he went off. Never stopped running, and that just set the tone. Joelinton, Maximin was better tonight, work rate wise. Yes, his decision making on the ball was questionable at times. But again, I'm not nitpicking. His goal was fantastic. I'll touch on that in a second. But wow. And I think Big Joey, I started this video by singing his song. I mean, there was 2 number 7s on that field tonight. One number 7 that people had paid. All sorts of Man United fans will have been in that stadium in the home end tonight. I've seen it on the ticket groups on Facebook to see one number 7 in Cristiano Ronaldo. And I'll tell you what, our boy Joey just made Ronaldo look like Tony fucking Hibbert. If some of you are watching this thinking, who's Tony Hibbert? Exactly. Played for Everton for a lot of years. Most random footballer I could think of, because he pretty much just existed. Ronaldo did nothing. He was frustrated all night. And again, that's full credit that our defence, that's been very, very shaky all season, all calendar year, kept Rashford quiet, Ronaldo quiet, Cavani quiet for the majority of the game. Sancho, the list goes on. Some really, really big attacking players for them. And we were good. I looked at the team's starting lineup before the teams came out. Kraft, I was like, oh God, I actually did a jokey photo on my Facebook and Instagram page about Kraft. I thought, shit, why has this man been drafted in? Our defence looks so bad on paper. But no, I've got not a bad word. I thought Lascelles had a better game tonight. He made some crucial interceptions. He was a bit more confident on the ball. I thought Manquillo at left back, not his natural position, played well. He didn't have too many problems, even though obviously Sancho came on in the second half. Greenwood started the game for Man United, and our centre-backs kept him quiet to the point he got hooked off at half-time. And I just thought, from goalkeeper all the way to forward, we were fantastic. Again, Fraser picked himself for me over Almiron. I know Almiron played okay when he came on in the second half and was unlucky not to score, but Fraser just never stopped. And I really, really hope his injury is not a serious one, because he's one of the first names on the team sheet. Eddie Howe is proven that he's got a relationship with Fraser, because he is getting something out of him that Bruce couldn't. It's funny that all the journalists who criticised us for hating on Steve Bruce, we've seen a different player in Joelinton, we've seen a different player in Fraser. How long's Eddie Howe been in the job? 7 weeks? 7 weeks, 8 weeks? Coincidences, eh? Coincidences. Touching on the goal, I thought Maximin, fantastic. I mean, how he's managed to get that lift on the ball from a slight turn. He looked off balance when he shot it. To just watch that ball glide into the top corner, my God. There's not many things in football give you an erection, but Jesus Christ. That was a fantastic strike, and that just set the tone for the game. And the only thing I was disappointed about, if I'm being really harsh on the lads, was that we didn't take advantage in that first half in particular of how bad Man United were. The gap between midfield and defence that we were constantly finding. There was one moment in the first half where Shelvey was able to pick up the ball, take it past Fred, I think it was, and carry the ball 30 yards unchallenged to the edge of the box where he got a shot off that De Gea saved. And that summed up exactly where Man United got it wrong and Eddie Howe got it right tonight formation-wise, because we were always between the lines. And I don't want to make a big statement and say our season starts today, but I think because of performance like that, in the magnitude of the game it was against Man United, always a big game for us. I was devastated I couldn't be there tonight. That's set the tone for us tonight. We've got Everton in 3 days. It's a quick turnaround, but January transfer window on the horizon. This should be the start of our fucking season tonight. We should have, on another day, beat Man United today 3 or 4-0. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being biased to my own team. If you think about the goal, the maximum chance where he's got to be burying it, any kind of decent contact and we score. You think about the Almiron chance, obviously Murphy hitting the post in the same phase of play. We should have battered them. We've beaten Man United before. I remember the day when Kabay got the free kick. That was another one of them days tonight for us. It was there for the taking and we didn't take it. And that's why I'm frustrated going to bed tonight. But a point is a point. I looked at the table tonight. Another point up the board. 2 points off getting out the drop. It's a big result. We've got Everton, Southampton, Watford. We've got a 2-week break. And I have got no doubts. And I'm not going to go out there and be that guy who comes out with leaked information. I've been informed from a source that it's looking like players are going to be coming in from the 1st and the 2nd of January onwards. People have been primed for medicals in the club. And I fully expect us to have already got our business done in the first 2 weeks of January. So we've got a gap because of the FA Cup where we can bring those new players in. And Eddie Howe will know who he wants. The owners will know who they want. The wages, whatever the fuck these players want, will be getting paid. And I think it's the start of our season tonight. I thought, again, going back to the performances tonight, John Joe was class. He's proved now how important he is, because we lost him in the last match and my God, were we crying out for John Joe Shelvey. He looks a new player under Eddie Howe again. I thought Murphy looked good when he came on. Sorry, this is the COVID. I thought Murphy looked good when he came on. Again, just goes back to what I said, not a bad performance. Sean Longstaff's coming from a lot of criticism from me. We've had no decent central midfielders for a while now, performance-wise. I was glad to see Willock wasn't anywhere near the team. I thought Sean Longstaff was fantastic. Full of running, always up for the press, picked out some decent passes when we were going forward, and I thought he looked up for it. But obviously special mention for Joe Linton. My God, I think Pele will have been sat at home watching that tonight, proud of Joe Linton's performance, because he was fucking fantastic. And long may that continue. He actually looked tonight a £40 million player. And that's a big statement because it's our biggest transfer fee in our history. But he looked a £40 million player playing against some decent players in Man United. Now the injuries, only negative tonight is some of the injuries, and that's what I'm really worried about. If Callum Wilson is out, which we're going to assume that he's definitely out for the Everton game, which is in 3 days, we are fucked. It's always been a position where if we get an injury to our main man, we've got no one to replace him. Eddie Howe clearly has no faith in Gale. He brought him on tonight, but he brought him on as a last resort. So you wouldn't like to back Gale to replace him in that position. I don't like St. Maximin as a number 10, but that doesn't even look like an option because St. Maximin went off with a knock. His didn't look as serious. Fingers fucking crossed, because he's a massive part of what we do going forward. So I don't like him as a number 10 if he's fit for Everton. I really, really, really don't like it. So I don't think Joe Linton should be pulled out of this fantastic position we found him in, where he's playing out of his skin. So again, I think going into the Everton game, which I'll do a match preview for, it's got to be Gale. For me, just as a striker, as an option. But yeah, those are the only concerns. Fraser went off with an injury and he was fantastic, but we've all finished watching that game. Some of us lucky enough to come out the stadium tonight, absolutely devastated we haven't picked up 3 points. And every Man United fan who's not a deluded idiot from London, and let's face it, there's a few, will be counting their lucky stars that they got that lucky as hell goal. I mean, how Cavani gets the ball back for a second time. God, I was so frustrated. But wow, our season starts tonight. I'm absolutely over the moon for that performance. I'm chuffed for the lads. So many good performances out there, and Eddie Howe's job now is to get them to push on from here. And if you'd asked me based off that right now with the January transfer window on the horizon, if we're going to stay up, I will say yes, because that was fantastic. And we need to keep that up against a very dodgy Everton and keep the momentum going, because I tell you what, one team's one of the biggest teams in the world, another team's fighting relegation, and there's only one team I thought looked like one of the better teams tonight. I think if you'd been in the football wilderness for 6 months, Man United looked like the side who were 19th in the league, I tell you, and that's full credit to the boys for that. I'm going to go and dive into a couple of MSIP, probably have an early night. I'll touch down for an Everton match preview. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I've got this new fancy ring light, that's why the light's a bit better, for Christmas from Santa Claus, so the channel's only getting better. All the gadgets and gizmos are starting to fly in. So make sure you give us a follow, get us on Facebook and Instagram, and enjoy your beers tonight, Toon fans, because that was a fucking fantastic performance. How are you, lads?